Yep.
Okay, good night, I guess. So, we're gonna start class with doing this little activity. So, I'm gonna hand you a little sentence strip. And then I'm going to read an emotion, and your job is to read this sentence out loud using that emotion. So we'll start with Jonah. The emotion is sadness.
Cowboy, you're going to get us killed.
Very good, and we can all clap for Jonah.
Good job, Jonah.
Alright, Tilly, if you can read yours with the emotion of sadness.
Braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think.
Beautiful, thank you. And Jack,
Yo.
read that with sadness.
Oh, yes.
The past good, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or you can learn from it.
Awesome. Okay, if I can get you to pass your strip to the next person.
Julie.
Sorry, texting my husband.
I got you. No worries.
Alright, Jonah, if you could start. Now you're going to do a scared emotion.
Let's just fly.
Thank you. Yes? Scared.
Something like that. Cover. You're gonna get killed.
Awesome.
Scared?
Scared.
You're braver than you believe. And stronger than you seem. And
Really,
smarter than you think.
really good, really good, really good. Okay, and then the next emotion is excited.
If you focus on what you left behind, you'll never be able to say what
You're crying.
Okay. Feel your turn.
Don't just fly, soar!
Good, I love that.
Another stunt like that, cowboy. You're gonna get us killed.
Awesome. Okay, now this
Excited.
one.
Oh.
And now we're gonna read it monotone.
I'm really good at that.
Okay, let's see.
A true hero isn't measured by the size of its strength, but by the strength of his heart.
Really good, Tuli. Monotone.
Totally monotone. If you focus on what you left behind, you will never be able to see what lies ahead.
Thank you. That was definitely a robot. And Jack, monotone, please.
The sun is shining, the tank is clean, the tank is clean.
All right, and then for this next one, I want you to do a British accent. Jonah.
This pottage is too hot. This porridge is too cold. But this porridge is just rice.
Thank you.
A true hero isn't measured by the size of its strength, but by the strength of his heart.
Thank you. What was that?
British.
Okay. British accent.
Hello, puppet.
Oh my gosh.
The sun is shining, the tank is clean. The tank is clean. Can I have a new one,
Yeah, this
please?
one.
Let me read this. Oh yes, the past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or you learn from it.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, bye.
Now,
I was over
Today-
in London past evening yesterday.
Jack, I'm trying to talk.
Sorry.
So for today, we're gonna work on prosody. We talked about this briefly yesterday. And we read a book. We read this book, The Day the Crayons Quit, and I know you all remember it. But just to remind you, because yesterday was a long time ago, it's about a boy who opens his crayon box and he has a bunch of letters from his crayons saying that they're quitting. Don't want to color from
Oh
them.
no. Oh, that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So today we're going to work on prosody, so you will be able to, hear it and feel it and understand it. And you'll leave today with a better understanding of prosody than you did. So to start, I'm going to put you into teams, and you are going to read this. This is one page from the book, and I want you to read it out loud using the emotions that the author is trying to persuade. So one of them is this red crayon. So I want you to just look at the picture real fast just to give you a reminder of how the red crayon feels. Tilly, it looks like you have the red crayon. The other crayon, is the beige crayon. And I think, Jonah, your group has the beige crayon.
Beige crayon.
So look at the picture.
That's my favorite emotion.
Good. So you'll be reading this out loud using your emotion. And Jack, you have the green crayon. Okay, and this
He's
is
so
the
cool.
green
I know
crayon.
why he picked me.
Okay, so if I could get you to read them out loud, try to keep it kind of quiet, and I'm gonna walk around and listen and make sure you're using the right emotion.
May you see mine again?
Yes.
One is to say that I like my clothes.
Distressed.
She's very overworked.
Distressed, yeah. Would you like it or not?
Can I ask you why you're using that tone of voice for the green one?
All year long, and wear myself out, coloring fire engines, apples,
Can you
strawberries,
read a little louder than that?
and everything else
Just
is
use
red.
the emotions. If
I
you
haven't worked
see
on
he's
holidays.
the happy.
Not the color of
It's
Christmas
not
and
fair.
Christmas and
Green,
hearts
brown.
and Valentine's Day.
And brown
I need a rest.
gets all the bears.
Your overworked friend.
LeBron
Red
James.
Run dinners. Green. Let's be honest.
It's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. We do work
Last
harder than any of your other
time
crayons.
you saw
Alright, if I
appreciate
could
it.
get your guys' attention real fast. Here's just a quick example of how you would read this one. This is the pink crayon. And the pink crayon is really unused. So she's pink, she's sassy. It's a given. So this one says Duncan. Okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in the past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister I said thank you for using me to color her little princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? Goodness knows they could use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon. So what can you tell from my voice, Tuli, when I read about the pink crayon? When I read for the pink crayon?
You just needed love.
Right? She
You
was
just needed some attention.
she was unused, right?
But not desperate.
Exactly. So now we're gonna move on. We're gonna do another activity. So I put you in groups. You three are in a group.
Okay.
And
Yeah, Lizzie.
we're gonna do a
I
little
Giselle.
reader's theater. And then when you do, because you have two parts, so when you do Giselle, try to use a different voice
Okay.
to make the characters different. So if I could get you to read it, and try to be a little quiet, but be the character.
Do we have like background?
Action.
Who's in there?
Okay. At Oldman's Antiques, Lizzie dusted the lamps, the books, the clocks, and the spindly tables. She even dusted the bald spot on Grandpa's head as he snoozed on Lewis's 16th settee.
Just call it a couch.
Grandpa?
You're also grandpa. I highlighted your
Oh.
part.
The tiny bell over the door tinkled as a woman breezed in. Her pink stole and suit matched. A miniature poodle in her arms. Lizzie had never seen anyone with hair so tall. The woman peered at Lizzie through a rhinestone glasses.
You seem quite young to be running such an establishment.
I'm watching the store until my mother comes back.
Jack.
Is it Joe?
It's not marked. Oh, it is. Okay. It's not marked, but oh well.
Oh, sorry.
After all, she was quite capable of running such an establishment for 10 minutes anyway.
I'm Miss Bradley Largemont.
You can just call her Miss.
Miss the third. And this is Giselle.
Yep, yep.
Racism? If you do not mind, I'd like to browse. Alright, sir.
Lizzie certainly didn't mind. That's all anyone ever did in Oldman's Antiques. Mrs. Larchmont inspected each item with a gloved hand.
I'll take this and this. I simply can't live without this.
She glanced down at the Lewis, the 16th settee.
Oh my stars, for the love of Liza. Look at this. I do ever see sale. How much?
$500.
What a bargain. Said it's safe?
Teeth?
Yes, he's not wearing any.
The settee?
No, I have a dozen of them at home already. How much for this charming antique?
But he's my grandpa.
In that case, you must know how much it's worth.
But he's not for sale.
Nonsense, my dear. Everything has a price. I'll give you $500 for it.
$500?
For $500, Lizzie could buy the treehouse she'd always wanted. She could start her own club and be president. She'd be the most popular girl in the neighborhood. But what would a treehouse be without Grandpa there to help her build it?
No, thank you. I can't have $500 for grandpa.
Okay.
Yep, yep.
1K.
$1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
With that much money, Lizzie could buy a small boat, sail out to any lake anytime she wanted. She could lay back and float lazily along, or for the mysterious monster that lived at the bottom. But what could a boat be without Grandpa there to steer and fish and sing sailor songs?
Sorry, no.
So you want a bargain, do you?
Yep, yep.
Very well, $5,000.
Wow.
Lizzie pictured herself in her very own lavender green bedroom set. The lace curtains would match the ruffled canopy on the bed, and she'd have her very own dressing table. To sleep in that room would be like dreaming on fluffy mackerel. But what good would fancy bedroom be without Grandpa there to tuck her in and tell her bedtime stories? No deal. Oh, sorry.
10,000.
No. Yep, yep.
$10,000. Wouldn't that be? Buy an entire ice cream shop with every frozen flavor ever invented, and sprinkles and chocolate chips, and hot fudge. She could have an ice cream shop with lots of customers actually buy something. Selling ice cream would certainly be more fun than dusting antiques. But how much fun would that be without Grandpa there to make a super duper tremendous stupendous ice cream sundae deluxe? Lizzie shook her head. No. Oh, sorry.
No? $50,000. That's my final offer.
Lizzie's knees wobbled. She felt woozy. That much money, she could build a new music park, the luckiest roller coaster ever, and her friends could ride it for free anytime they wanted. Lizzie wailed on this vision for a full minute. But what good would an amusement park be without Grandpa there to scream the loudest?
Mrs. Larchmont, not everyone has a price, and not everything is for sale.
And she swept out the door in a furious buzz. Lizzie kissed Grandpa gently, then walked over to the cash register. Smiling, she pushed the big red button. Ding.
No sale.
Thank you. If I can just everybody give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, so what did we learn? I'm gonna pass out these little Post-its. And I want you to be thinking really fast what you learned from using prosody, which we remember is expressions in your voice when you read. What we learned from it. Just think about it real fast. Think about how prosody maybe helped you to understand the story or to read the story more fluently. Okay, now that we've thought about it, we're going to have a little discussion, and I'm going to write your answers up here on this board. That's so beautiful. The first question that I want to ask is directed to Jonah. What is prosody?
Prosody is the way you read it.
How so? How do you know that?
The inflection in your voice. Where I know that because I have found out for myself.
Good. Tilly, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Using prosody, you can tell the difference between narrative text and dialogue.
Oh, very good. I like that comment.
Yes.
Narrative verse. Jonah, I like your comment as well.
Thank you.
Forget I have to praise. Jack, how does using prosody help you be more fluent or understand? Use comprehension, fluency, phrasing, sentences.
Well, I think personally, fluency is something that happens when you understand how to help understanding, comprehension.
So you're saying that fluency helps to...
Comprehension.
Okay, and how does that have to do with prosody?
Okay, so prosody and fluency are connected as we understand through expression. So not all understanding comes from words and definitions, but rather from body language and expressive language. For example, if I'm saying something sarcastically, it won't mean the same thing as if I were to say those same exact words in a serious tone. Therefore,
Very
the
good.
understanding is affected completely, in which affects directly into fluency.
And we also learned that, thank you for that, we learned that in our anticipatory set, or the very first activity that we did with the sentence strips that we just passed. You each read the exact same sentence strips, however you had a different emotion to go with them, and that therefore you were able to get a different comprehension of what was being said. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Awesome.
For sure, for sure.
Is there anything else that you would like to add to just how expressions help?
Makes the story more exciting.
More exciting.
More interesting.
Get behind what the character is feeling at that moment. Why is she sad?
So you can understand the characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And along with that, you're also understanding how the author wants you to feel at any given moment.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any examples of how prosody is helping them in school to understand when more of a narrative story? Or maybe a time where you are reading something about water particles and you use prosody to make the story narrative. Yeah, Jack.
I would often read things as if they were exciting. And by doing that, my mind would be focused and immersed in this new emotion
You're using such big words for a second grader.
in which my
You gotta help
cognitive thinking was expanded because of the prosody that I was
Do you want me to just turn?
doing.
I have a timer. Okay, so the last thing I want you to do is on this paper that I gave you,
Yeah.
I want you to, this is going to be your exit pass. I appreciate all of your comments and contributions to the discussion and to the activities, and I thought it was really fun. So you're going to answer 5 questions, and then you'll be able to leave. It's your exit pass. So the first question is, how do you think the discussion went today, and why? This is So how did the discussion go, and why? Ready for the second question?
Yep.
What is something you learned during the discussion? Something that you learned during the discussion. And if you want some references, I have them written on this board. The third question is, I want you to rate your participation during the discussion from a 1 to a 10. And then rate your participation during the activity from a 1 to 10, during both on question 3. Question 4. What activity?
That was for the same one?
Yeah, sorry. Question number 4. What activity did you like best today? You can pick the sentence strips, which is the first thing we did, the reader's theater that we did, the reading from the crayons book, or the discussion. And the last question, what is something you learned about yourself that you can either improve or you're confident to say that you have gained a skill in? And that is my lesson. Very good job, guys.
Thumbs up.